Hello dear student, welcome in our second lecture of this fourth semester. Our chapter name is pharmaceutical dose forms. In the previous lecture, we discussed the capsules and creams. Now in the today's lecture, we are going to discuss ear drops and eye drops. Okay, so this is the content of the today's lecture. Reference Indian Pharmacopoeia Volume 2nd 7th edition is used for this lecture. So we start with the first, that is eardrops. Ear, it is a very sensitive part of the body. So these eardrops, what are the eardrops, how they are prepared, how the packaging of this eardrop is done, that part we discuss in this lecture. Okay, eardrops are the aqueous or oily solutions or suspensions of one or more medicaments intended for instillation into the outer ear. They may contain a suitable auxiliary substances such as buffer, stabilizing agent, dispersing agent, solubilizing agent, and agent to adjust the tonicity or the viscosity of the preparation. That means, in short, what we have to remember, that the eardrops are the oily solution or suspension. Either it contain one or more medicament, or remaining part is the inactive part. Okay, so for maintaining their viscosity, some auxiliary substances are added in that eye drop. So which types of auxiliary substances are added? They are buffer, stabilizing agent, dispersing agent, solubilizing agent are added to maintain or adjust the viscosity of that eye drop. Okay, aqueous preparations supplied in multiple application container contain a suitable antimicrobial preservatives at appropriate concentration, except when the product itself has adequate antimicrobial property. Means, when the preparation of eye drop is there, at that time some antimicrobial preservatives are added. But in some cases, the eye drop, it has adequate antimicrobial property. Then at that time such antimicrobial preservatives are not added. Okay, the antimicrobial preservative should be compatible with the other ingredients of the preparation and should be effective throughout the period of use of a eardrops. Okay, then which types of test for this eardrops? The first test is particle size. This test, it is applicable only to eardrops that are suspension. Means the eardrops which are present in the form of suspension, at that time we do this particle size test. Okay, so in that, what they do, introduce a suitable volume of eardrop on the microscopic slide. Okay, then scan under the microscope and the area corresponding to the 10 microgram of the solid phase. So when we observe under the microscope, we observe only the corresponding area to the 10 microgram. Scan at least 50 representative fields, not more than 20 particles, have a maximum dimension greater than 25 micrometer or not more than the 10 particles, have a maximum dimension greater than the 50 micrometer, and none has a maximum dimension greater than 1000 micrometer. Means the dimension, it is not greater than 100 micrometers. Okay, so you have to only remember that this particle size test, it is only applicable to the eardrops which are present in the suspension form. Okay, then sterility, it is very important part, sterility. When the label indicate that the eardrops are sterile, okay, it complies with the test for sterility. Droppers supplied separately also comply with the test. Remove the dropper out of the package using the aseptic precaution and transfer into the tube containing suitable culture medium so that it is completely immersed. Incubate and carry out the test for the sterility. Means for maintaining the sterility, the dropper it is supplied separately, or after when it's supplied separately, we remove that dropper from that pouch and immerse into the bottle without touching anywhere, so sterility get maintained. Okay. Then how the storage of eardrops are done. Eardrops should be packed in a well closed container. If the preparation is sterile, store in the sterile, tightly closed container. Containers should be made from a material that do not cause any deterioration of the preparation as a result of diffusion into or across the material of the container or by yielding the foreign substances to the preparation. Means container material, it should not damage during the preparation. Do not decay in the preparation. That's why such a container, they interfere during the preparation, or they provide some foreign substances during the preparation. Okay, the container for the multiple application preparation should be fitted with an integral dropper or with the screw cap made up of a suitable material incorporating a dropper and plastic or rubber teeth. Okay, then labeling, it is a very important part. Here on the labeling, the name and concentration in percentage or weight or volume per ml of the active ingredients are mentioned. Means whatever active ingredients are present in that eardrop, they should be mentioned in the labeling. The name and concentration of any added antioxidant, stabilizing agent and antimicrobial preservative, they also label on the eardrop. Okay. For multiple application container, the contents should not be used for more than 1 month after opening the container. For the multiple application container, care should be taken to avoid the contamination of the content during the use. The preparation is not for injection. Okay. So this is about the eardrops. In that we see the what is eardrops, how the tests are done, uh, then storage, packaging and labeling. This part we have seen in the eardrops. Then the next is eye drops. So again eye, it is a very sensitive part of the body. So how the eye drops are prepared, that we discuss now. Eye drops are sterile solution or suspension or emulsion intended for installation in the eye. Solutions are manufactured by dissolution of active ingredients and the excipients into all portion of water, and sterilization of this solution is done. That means if we prepare this eye solution are manufactured by dissolving some active ingredients, and the excipients means non-active part, means eye drop contains some active part and some non-active part. That non-active part, it is nothing but the excipients. The proper portion is used, that is dissolved in water, and sterilization of that solution is done. Okay. If the drug is not sufficiently soluble, it can be formulated as a suspension. If we are not getting in above case, if we are in this case, if we are not getting a clear solution in the water, then we sufficiently not sufficiently soluble, then we formulated that solution as a suspension. Okay. Topical ophthalmic emulsion generally are prepared by dissolving or dispersing the active ingredients into the oil phase. Emulsion, how the emulsions are prepared? They use active ingredients and that active ingredients are dissolved in oil phase. Adding a suitable emulsifying agent and mixing with the water vigorously to form a uniform oil in water emulsion. Okay, so it is very simple. So how the administration is done for the eye drops. So how we apply the eye drop in our eye, that is shown in this figure. So what is the first we do to prevent the contamination? That's why we clean our hand properly. Do not touch the dropper tip to the eye and surrounding tissue. Okay. So what we have to do, we pull down the eye elites. So here the figure is given, we pull down this eye elide. So what happened, make a pouch under the eye elide. So here the pouch is prepared. So put the drop into the pouch, not directly on your eye. Means we do not apply directly this eye drop in the eye. We put that eye drop in this pouch. Okay. Pull down the eye elide, tilting the head backward side. Look at the ceiling after the tip is pointed close to the cap, lower pouch. Apply the slight pressure to the rubber pulp or the plastic bottle to allow the drop to fall into the eyes. Do not squeeze the lids. Okay, do not touch that lid into the eye. Do not squeeze the lid also. Okay, so it is very simple. So administration of eye drop into our eye. Okay, then how the packaging of this eye drop is done. Eye drops have been packed almost entirely in the plastic dropper bottles. The main advantage of the trainer are convenience of use by the patient, decrease the contamination potential, lower weight, lower cost. These are the main advantages of the eye drop. The plastic bottle and dispersing tip is made up of low density polyethylene resin. Low density polyethylene resin. The full form is low density polyethylene resin. In short, it is known as LDPE. Okay, which provides the necessary flexibility and inertness. The cap is made of harder resin than the bottle. A special plastic ophthalmic package made of polypropylene is introduced. The bottle is filled, then sterilized by steam under the pressure at 121 degrees Celsius. Powder or reconstitution used glass containers owing to their heat transfer characteristics, which are necessary during the freeze drying process. A glass bottle is made sterile by dry heat or steam autoclave sterilization. The amber glass is used for light resistance. We know that our chemicals are also stored in amber color bottle because these bottles are light resistant. That's why here also we use the bottles, amber color bottles. Then in the next slide, here we discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this eye drops. These eye drops, it is present in these three forms: solution, suspension and emulsion. So advantages and disadvantages are there. Convenience, then usually do not interfere with the vision of the patient. If our eye drop it is in the form of solution, it is not interfere in the vision of the patient. Then rapid elimination, this is the disadvantage. Then non-sustained action, to be administered at frequent intervals. Then when the eye drop in the form of suspension, the patient eye drops in the form of suspension, patient compliances best for drug with slow dissolution, longer contact time, while this drug property decide the performance loss of the both solution and suspended particles, irritation potential due to the particle size of the drug. Suspension, it is uh, in the suspension eye drop, the particle size, this test is done. Okay, so particle size is more, due to that increase in particle size, irritation takes place. Okay, this is the disadvantage. Emulsion, prolonged release of drug from vehicles. Then blurred vision, when they apply on the in the eye, then we blurred vision is there. Prolongation of drug, the ointment base is sterilized by heat and filter while molten to remove the foreign particulate matter. It is then packed into the sterile steam jar to maintain the ointment in the molten state, and excipients are also added. Means inactive part is also added. The entire ointment may be passed through the previously sterilized colloidal mill. Then in the previous slide we see the eye drops. Here we discuss the eye ointments. So ophthalmic ointments, eye ointments are sterile semi-solid preparation of homogeneous appearance intended for application to the eye. They may contain one or more medicament, dissolve or disperse in a suitable base which are usually non-aqueous, may contain suitable auxiliary substances such as stabilizing agent, antimicrobial preservatives and antioxidants. The base selected must be non-irritating. These eye ointments are prepared using the method designed to ensure that the sterility and to avoid the introduction of contamination and growth of microorganisms. Means when we prepare this eye ointment, the sterility and avoid the contamination and the avoid the growth of microorganisms. Eye ointment should be packed in a small sterile collapsible tubes of metal or a suitable plastic fitted or provides with the nozzle of a suitable shape to facilitate the application of the product without contamination and with a cap. The content of such a container is not more than 5 grams of the preparation. These eye ointments may also be packed in a single application container of such a shape as to facilitate the administration without contamination. Such containers may be individually wrapped. So how the packaging is done? These are the eye ointments. So it is packed in this way. Ophthalmic ointments are prepared in small collapsible tin tube. Okay, usually holding 3.5 gram of product. The pure tin tube is compatible with a wide range of drug in petrolatum based ointment. The aluminum tubes are also used, have been used because of their lower cost and as an alternative to the tin. Plastic tubes made up of a flexible LDPE. LDPE means lower density polyethylene resins have also been considered as a packaging material. Okay, so in this way the packaging is done. Here also the packaging is explained. A special plastic ophthalmic package made up of polypropylene or lower density poly LDPE is used. Then the bottle is filled. The bottle is filled, then sterilized by the steam under pressure at 121 degrees Celsius. Powder or Reconstitution also use a glass containers owing to their heat transfer characteristics which are necessary during the freeze drying process. A glass bottle is made sterile by dry heat or steam autoclave sterilization, and umber color glass is used for light resistance. Okay, so with this we complete the lecture. In this lecture we discuss eye drops and ear drops, how the preparation of eye drops are there, packaging, sterility. This part we discuss in the today's lecture. In the next lecture we discuss what are gels. This part we will discuss in the next lecture. Okay, thank you.